Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lonzo Ball could be on Lakers' radar before the 2025 NBA trade deadline. The Los Angeles Lakers are looking at a familiar name ahead of the upcoming trade deadline. According to NBA insider Jovan Buha, veteran point guard Lonzo Ball is on the Lakers' radar and has emerged as an interesting potential trade target. I think Lonzo Ball is someone that's going to be on their radar. And I think depending on the price, if you could get him for a second or 2 seconds, I think that's an interesting swing. And also someone with that 6'6" frame that could potentially be similar to Bruce Brown and check a couple of boxes where he's bulked up a little bit throughout his career so he can guard, I think, 2s and even some smaller 3s. He's an interesting hybrid for them. At 23-18 this season, the Lakers are in desperate need of a boost to help stay in the top 6 in the West. Earlier this season, they traded D'Angelo Russell to the Nets in exchange for Shake Milton and Dorian Finney-Smith, and it's already having an impact on their season. But with weeks to go before the deadline, there are other players the Lakers could pursue, like Robert Williams III and Kyle Kuzma. For now, however, Lonzo Ball is at the top of the list. The 27-year-old point guard from Chino Hills was a former Laker for his first 2 years in the league before an off-season trade to the Pelicans set him on a different path. Since 2020 and beyond, Ball has dealt with countless injuries that have jeopardized his entire career. Currently, Lonzo is back on the court after 2 full seasons in recovery, and he's slowly working his way back into shape with averages of 6.4 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game on 36.5% shooting. His role has been relatively minor with the Bulls, but he's showing enough to warrant serious interest in a reunion from the Lakers. Even in his current form, Lonzo can provide a major spark for the Lakers' backcourt. His ball handling and perimeter defense would make a great addition to the bench alongside Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Not only would Lonzo's return make a great addition to the Lakers roster, but it would also be a great story for the fans. To root for Lonzo, a former Laker, after he's been through so much would be a wholesome moment that many fans would cherish. The only question now is, do the Lakers have enough to trade for Lonzo? While the Bulls may be open to trading Lonzo, he won't come cheap and the Lakers don't have much to offer after their latest trade bargain. But with LeBron James and Anthony Davis growing concerned over the team's lack of urgency to improve, it has put pressure on the organization to take a risk and give up whatever they have left in pursuit of one last title push. Whether it's Lonzo Ball or someone else entirely, like Dorian Finney-Smith, we can expect the Lakers to make another move before it's too late. Lakers injury report: LeBron James listed for Celtics game. The Celtics and Lakers will renew their rivalry come 10 p.m. Thursday, and it looks Los Angeles will be healthy for the matchup. The Lakers have 5 players listed on their injury report. Notably, LeBron James, left foot, and Anthony Davis, right calf, are both listed as probable. Jalen Hood-Schifino, hamstring, Jared Vanderbilt, right foot surgery, and Christian Wood, left knee surgery, are all out. Considering James and Davis are probable, they'll likely play in Thursday's game. The Celtics are coming off an overtime victory over the Clippers, where they fended off a short-handed squad to win late. They weren't perfect, but they're now on a winning streak for the first time in a few weeks. The C's have been inconsistent of late, though, so they'll be tested against the Lakers. The C's were without Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday for the Clippers win Wednesday, so their statues are unclear for the second game of the back-to-back Thursday. But all 3 are likely to play after getting the night off. There will be plenty of eyeballs watching Thursday, considering it's Celtics versus Lakers for the first time this season. The C's have endured some recent struggles, but they're still second in the East at 31-13. The Lakers are 23-18 as they're looking for some consistency themselves. Lakers land Paul George in blockbuster trade proposal. The arrival of nine-time All-Star Paul George was supposed to position the Philadelphia 76ers as a serious title contender. Instead, the opposite happened in the 2024-25 season as George averaged just 17.0 points per game after 28 outings, his lowest point production since his sophomore season in 2011-12. In light of George's struggles, Sporting News' Matt John suggested a trade that would send George back to his native of Los Angeles after his 5-year stint with the Clippers. The proposed three-team Lakers trade would see the 76ers acquire All-Star guard Zach LaVine and the rebuilding Bulls acquire a haul of players and assets. Sixers would receive Zach LaVine, Jared Vanderbilt, and a top 10 protected 2029 first-round draft pick. Lakers would receive Paul George and a 2028 second-round draft pick. Bulls would receive Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Hood-Schifino, and a 2027 second-round draft pick. Another analyst argued that George would be motivated to rediscover his all-star form while playing for his hometown franchise, and would benefit from playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers would be giving up a massive haul for George, with Christie being the biggest piece, wrote Matt Levine of Newsweek. Los Angeles values Christie a lot, but to add a player of the caliber of George would help their title quest this season. Los Angeles doesn't have many more years with the duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, so bringing George in maximizes everything. It would be a gamble, but the Lakers have always been about star players throughout their history. The writer further explained why the Sixers stand to benefit from the acquisition of LaVine, who's in the middle of a career year with the Bulls. It has been a nightmare season for the 76ers with injuries, and it's starting to look like a lost year, Levine wrote. The 76ers brought in George to compete for a title, and it has backfired so far. Moving on from him frees Philadelphia from his long contract. But they do land Levine to keep them competitive, and they also get an additional first-round draft pick to use down the line. This deal isn't perfect for the 76ers, and the likelihood that they give up on George this quickly is low. But in the NBA, nothing is ever off the table. It's worth noting that George, 34, previously had multiple opportunities to don a Lakers jersey, but the stars never aligned for him. In July 2017, George admittedly asked the Pacers to trade him to the Lakers, but was instead shipped to Oklahoma City. George confirmed his rumored request in a 2019 interview with ESPN's own Young Masuk. Since the Lakers did not attempt to trade for George, the latter decided to snub the purple and gold franchise as a free agent in 2018. Instead, he decided to re-sign with Russell Westbrook's Thunder. The reason why I didn't take a meeting with the Lakers is that coming down to free agency I felt really good where I was at, George told USA Today in July 2018. I felt I was in a good place with Oklahoma. I wanted to come back to LA. That story was true. The narrative on that was true. That's where my heart was. But this year, being in Oklahoma, I felt really good about the situation, I felt really good going forward, and I didn't want to waste nobody's time and take a meeting. I felt great where we were at, so I decided to do it early, to get it over with, and start to build. In 2019, the Thunder traded George to the Clippers as part of a blockbuster deal involving Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a record haul of first-round picks. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Paul George? Leave your opinion in the comments.